Welcome to our special edition of the Jurist podcast, the biggest legal podcast in the Middle East. Today, we are at the BRICS Plus New Economy Legal Forum 2025. Someone told me that you had a very unique expression, that you said that there is a concept of kidnapping of justice. What is that about?
To be honest, I think that nowadays the rule of law has been kidnapped, hijacked by the institutions that are trying to protect themselves. The rule of law was to protect us, the citizens, from the powerful people. And now they are using the law to protect themselves from the citizens. And at the end of the day, we are servant of a law in a sort of contract that one party has breached a long time ago. Because in this contract for the rule of law, there are people who direct the governments and people who are simple citizens, but we should all be respected, and this is not the case nowadays.
How do you accept your clients with all the KYC and due diligence and sanctions lists? Because you worked with clients in sanction.
That is not the biggest issue. We are still allowed, hopefully, by the grace of our EU regulators and our national regulator, to represent clients in litigation matters, administrative matters, arbitration matters, with no restriction apart from asking our local regulator, and that is the Ministry of Finance in France, to authorize us to get paid by our clients. The only thing we need to request a license for is get our bills paid. Apart from that, we are allowed to represent clients, sanction clients, legal entities or individuals with no restriction. The only restriction we have is on legal services outside of litigation. There's a ban on that for Russian-based entities. So that is a problem. It's been challenged before the courts in Luxembourg. But for sanctioned clients, for the moment, we're good to go.
Today's speech was about creating narratives, and I know that your firm is responsible of handling a lot of politically sensitive cases.
That is absolutely right.
Can you tell us a little bit what does creating narratives mean for?
Of course. We were talking about whether the rule of law is dead or not, and that was kind of the overall topic. And to be honest, I said that it wasn't dead, but it's just being rewritten to a point where legitimacy isn't, at the front anymore. Now it's important to create a narrative. So whenever a client comes to us, usually they're in a very difficult situation where we have politically motivated persecutions, we have illegal expropriation of assets from states, and even before the case gets to a courtroom, even before there's a ruling, there's already some reputational damage that the client has incurred, because there could be, government leaks or various articles come out in the media that aren't favorable to the client. So what we do and what our firm does at the forefront is we create narrative. So we try and humanize the client. We try and show the public that they are, philanthropists, which most of them are, and we try and basically connect them to the person, because by the time that they get their ruling in court, and it could be a favorable one, but in the meantime, the reputational damage could be disastrous. Most of the time, these governments would put our clients in jail and taint them in the media, and they ultimately come out with their businesses in an absolutely distraught state. So it's important to create a narrative. I work with Mr. Robert Amsterdam, and he has this saying that it's also important to create meta-narrative. So it's important to connect the client's story to important international stories out there. So for example, we worked on the Yukos case with Mr. Hodorkovsky, and he connected that to the oil crisis and Russia's takeover of Yukos' oil assets. So that made the whole case and the story of Mr. Hodorkovsky relevant. So that's a bit of something that we do.
speeches, one of the sessions about the rule of law, and there was a question whether it's still alive or not. What do you think about that?
Oh, definitely alive, because the question, the topic brought so many interesting, high caliber speakers, professionals, colleagues, advocates, and genuine interest in people. And it's not a coincidence that so many professionals from Europe, from America, gathered here in Dubai at the auspices of BRICS conference. Obviously, there is a huge need for those guys to help clients, to help develop, to protect, to defer, to maintain a situation where investments can be made. Actually, the reason why it's all started is investors. Everything is global these days. People don't focus on one country. Yeah. Travel is easy, information is easy. So how do you help investors? How do you make sure that their rights are protected?
As members of the BRICS economies, India and Dubai are playing a bigger role even in the world economy at large scale?
Yes, I just don't believe in this, but I think in some way I'm trying to work on these lines. The official forum, legal forum of BRICS was founded in 2014, BRICS Legal Forum, and it's a very good new innovation that now we have Law and Economic Forum also working alongside. And one of the things which we have been trying to do is to create a network of dispute resolution institutions within the BRICS plus ecosystems and adding also emerging economies. Because, in dispute resolution space, the constraints felt by the BRICS countries are also felt by the other emerging economies. So, and BRICS is an expanding platform. So, in 2016 itself in New Delhi, we added emerging economies to the concept of a network. And now with the UAE joining it, it becomes, certainly it requires, even more practicality. Because you can navigate various legal systems, you can see how to create synergies, understanding and work together. And my task has been to see that we can create an umbrella of neutrality within our system, rather than going to a completely different place which has no economic stakes in the dispute you are taking them to. So here, we are so well connected, all of us in a way and all. So our motivations, our drive, this thing to find resolution is different from going to a place where resolution of dispute is a business itself. So that is where, our synergies, our shared value systems and coming together as BRICS is going to be very meaningful. Absolutely. And India as a common law jurisdiction plays a very good role in that.
You're a global investor and you are a strategist as well. And I would like to take your opinion on crypto. I mean, it is a fact. It is something that is existing, and it's. I have not lately seen anybody without, especially global investors, with no crypto wallet. Everybody has a crypto wallet. How do you see the BRICS economies reacting to the crypto industry?
Honestly speaking, crypto for me is they have two different ways. As a system of payment, super nice, because you will just run away or pull out of the traditional bank system. That is creating a lot of barriers to the mobility of capital. And most of the barriers is very interesting, based in the legal. It's compliance barriers, it's creating know your client systems, or they're creating ideas of the compliance and legal system just to let people stuck on banks. So you can avoid it through crypto or blockchain solutions. But at the same time, most of investors want a kind of reserve currency. And crypto is not a reserve currency, but there's an exception if there is a stable coin, because there's not a traditional definition of currency for the economy, in terms of economy. But it's not a reserve currency. It's a fantastic way of trading and to avoid government. In the end of the day, my feeling is that individuals around the world has the same feeling. Government is too big. Government is trying to control my life. They are creating tools of control. That's my question to you. I understand that. You are in a kind of gauge, right? But what we are doing is just changing the gauge. Because crypto, that people say, oh, you cannot track. You can track. You can track every dollar in the blockchain. So we are just changing one gauge for another one, right?
Still, yes.
Yeah, so one day the government will say, okay, let's assume that in the United Nations, people go around the table and make an agreement. From now on, nobody will accept crypto anymore to change the fiduciary system. What do you do with your money? It will be just a technological one, right? Outside, and you cannot convert this for the fiduciary system. And in the end of the day, it's an amazing solution here, but you need to bring this for the real world. So if one day the government here decide that you cannot buy apartments, you cannot pay in blockchain anymore, we cannot convert it in dirhams, this money will just
lose value. What innovative solutions in capital markets and digital services do you see as key drivers for cross-border integration and renewed trade links between the BRICS economies?
I think a couple of things have happened over the last few years. I think one of the biggest is an understanding of value. So in the past, commodities, whatever else, just traded on its intrinsic value. Now people are looking at the full value drivers embedded within there. What's the social upliftment within there? What is the energy savings embedded within there? How do we price social upliftment? How do we price green energy? How do we price blue economy? All of that has meant a better understanding of value itself and where to look for that value. I think that's first and foremost. That's lended itself to blended finance structures that made it a lot more attractive around infrastructure investments. And then a huge amount of work related to payments and cross-border payments. And why that's important is not around the mechanism itself. It's just the real problem in unlocking cross-border trade is payment guarantees. If I provide you with something, I want to be sure I'm going to get paid. And I think a huge strides made in understanding credit with our partners within BRICS, and also making sure that their payment certainty is being increased. And that's the biggest secret to unlocking. And the innovations relating to understanding credit, understanding cross-border credit, understanding participation of new partners, new jurisdictions, new political constructs has increased that underlying payment certainty. And I think that's the biggest driver for underlying trade.
Very excited to see you here today, moderating one of the amazing sessions in this BRICS Plus New Economy Legal Forum 2025. Why are you here and why do you see this event an important one?
Thank you. First, I'm interested to see you every day. And now I think this panel interests me because, BRICS now is the gravity for the new investor, the gravity for the new market. And the challenges of technology, this is everyone is speaking about now. And the speakers from Brazil and from Russia, it's interesting for me. It's my first time to moderate a panel with a Russian perspective, Brazilian perspective. We have some perspective from China and India. And the challenges of the AI and technology and the Internet of Things and how it affects the economy and how regulation is needed for this. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm happy, I'm delighted to be here for our first time, and we are happy that the Jurist is here as supporting for this event, and the law also is, I think it's a partner with this event. So I think it's nice to support the BRICS and to understand more about the new market or the new gravity of the market.
We are very happy to all of us be in the BRICS Plus New Economy Legal Forum 2025. And I would like that you educate us a little bit about the NeLi National Committee. What is that?
By all means. Well, So NeLi was basically created with a simple idea: how to do business and to help trade within the BRICS countries, which are now BRICS Plus. And the thesis is that when you are entering any market, or in general anything, but any market or any new country, you should always start with legal advice, because you know where you are stepping in or where you're touching. So NeLi, in the beginning, was the idea of connecting legal companies, lawyers, and legal experts among the BRIC countries. So first, to create in each country a list, per se, of professionals, which, by the way, what NeLi does is research, interviews, and at some point, they're putting an index together, country by country, which will facilitate for people that would like to transact, do business, do trade, investments, to get into one of the other BRICS Plus countries by looking at an index, seeing the experts, who they are, what they do, and knowing that those people have been truly interviewed and they're made to the end.
I would like to learn from you more and more about the center and what exactly are you doing?
Actually, this forum take place so time here in Dubai. Recently, we provided forum in São Paulo, Brasilia, and in Moscow last year, because Russia has a presidency of BRICS Alliance. And now we are in Dubai. We started our activity a few years ago. We launched our activity establishing a new economy legal infrastructure center here in Dubai. And we are aimed at supporting large businesses interested in international trade and investment growth by providing them deep legal expertise and knowledge about legal market expertise, and so it could be called like a think tank acting in a legal niche, and we are trying to connect people from business from one side and from regulatory bodies, from government, from second side, and lawyers.
Absolutely.
And we are trying to connect people to provide this connection, to develop this platform, to help them realize international strategy in trade and investment for businesses, and to understand real businesses' needs for state officials, and to give opportunities for lawyers.
That's amazing, and I would like to thank you very much. It's really a great event.